Hey everyone, thought I would check in with you today and do something a little different. Get out of the studio and ask a question that will not only be kind of fun for all of us, but educational in the sense that maybe we'll learn the names of some guitar players we've never heard of before. So I saw this comment by Andy Wood where he said that if you had to defend Earth against invading aliens, and the only way to save Earth was with a guitar off, who would be your champion guitar player you would put up against the alien to save us all? I think it's a great question because it kind of takes fame or influence out of the equation, and it really makes you think about who is the greatest guitar player out there who could do this. And he said Guthrie Govan. And I have to agree with Andy. I can't think of anybody else that I would rather put up for the human race against the axe-wielding aliens other than Guthrie. But who else would you put up? And so that's what today's question is. Put it down in the comments below, the 3 guitar players you would put up as Earth's champions. So number 1 for me would be Guthrie Govan. And if you don't know Guthrie's guitar playing, check him out on YouTube. He plays guitar for Hans Zimmer. He plays guitar for the Aristocrats, his band. He can play jazz, jazz fusion, rock, blues, country, flamenco. It doesn't matter. And he's also one of the greatest improvisers you'll ever see. He can play through any changes and do it as if he's planned the entire thing out. It's just amazing. I had him over to my academy years ago to teach for 4 days, so I've seen him up close and personal play in any sort of situation, and it's just mind-boggling how comfortable he is regardless of what music he's having to play over. Matter of fact, choice number 2 for me as guitar players would be the guy who introduced me to Guthrie, and that is Bumblefoot, Ron Thal. Ron is well known for his solo work, but also for playing in Guns N' Roses. So a lot of people think of him only as a rock player, but Ron can play just about anything you throw at him and also do it convincingly. He also has perfect pitch, which doesn't hurt if you're going to try to save the Earth. And anything that he has heard, he can play back almost note for note immediately. It's mind-blowing. And he's got the chops for days. He can improvise through anything and just has no fear when it comes to playing guitar. I remember when he joined Guns N' Roses, he called me because he was supposed to come down and do an event for me. He said, hey, this is what's happened. I've signed on with Guns N' Roses. But then I talked to him after he played his first show, and I said, did you have any butterflies at all? He's like, no, I just went out and had fun. And he only had, I think, a week or 2 to learn all the songs and get everything down. But that's just the way he is. He's very comfortable playing in any situation like that. My number 3 player would be Andy Timmons. Andy Timmons is incredible with rock and blues, but he's also a jazz player. He went to, I believe it was University of Miami, and studied jazz there. I've seen him play country, all kinds of styles actually, but he's one of those guys who can also comfortably improvise in any situation as well as compose just the most emotive pieces out of nothing. We used to, when we would bring him to my academy, we would draw the weirdest chords out of a hat, and he had to write a song with those chords in that order. And he would do it, and it would be one of the most beautiful melodies you've ever heard, even though these chords were not in the same key and they were bizarre and then the changes made no sense. He would work with it, and he could do it there on the spot and come up with something gorgeous. So my 3 would be Guthrie Govan, Bumblefoot, and Andy Timmons. Who are your 3? Put them down below and let me know.